back to a new episode of RNR Talks. This episode is called The Pretty World, and here we are going to discuss, talk, learn, have more insights about the world of makeup from a very beautiful and a very uh, probably she's quite an influencer on Instagram and on social media, Sara Mukaddam. So, hi, Sara.
Hi.
Nice to have you on RNR Talks. So, let's start our podcast on understanding this magical world of makeup. So, I wanted to understand from you, how did you choose makeup as your line of work or your career, or how did you choose makeup as a genre?
So actually, makeup just happened by chance. I was into advertising, and I had pursued that as my career. And then all of a sudden, like one day, I was just at home after my that is post my marriage. So I was at home, and I just spoke to my mom, and my mom just told me, "Why don't you just pursue your passion as your career?" And that's how I landed up into makeup, and I started it gradually, and now here I am finally.
So, how long has been your journey? How many years long has been your journey?
It's been a good 8 years now
8 years.
since I'm doing makeup.
Okay, and you have your own studio, or how do you go about it?
No, I am a freelance professional artist, and that's how like I've been working all these years. Studio is like my future plan, so let's see how it goes. Long way to go yet.
So, so mostly, like you handle brides, celebs, and influencers.
Yes, I do all of those genres, different genres, brides as well as I do a lot of influencers and celebrities, shoots, ad films, as well as a lot of bridal and other party category.
So you started off with bridal.
Yes, I had started off with bridal, and I still love doing brides because it just gives me the joy when I see them, happy on the main day. So yeah, I do that, and I have ventured into all the other areas also.
So how has in the past 8 years, how has makeup evolved in the sense that this whole world of influencers has come around us, and uh, has makeup become more common now than the previous, like when the requirement was only for bridal, and has it become more like an everyday thing, like you get orders or you get calls every day, or is it become more frequent? How is that changed for you?
Yeah, I feel that makeup nowadays has become like everyone wants to do it, and every time everyone wants it. So the amount of calls that I get is like definitely it has scaled up a lot, and I feel this all has happened post lockdown. Like there was a time when everyone wanted to be a makeup artist. So yeah, post that it has been a lot. Like the change has happened drastically, and the influencer, now it's like a dominating thing where influencers are people look up to them, so people want to be like them. So they always are in the game of makeup. They always want to look decked up and pretty and all the time glammed. So that's how makeup is picking up every now and then. And yeah, there's been a drastic change in the way people used to do it 8 years back, and now how it is. So
So can you tell us about the change? I mean, how has the journey changed, or
uh,
the demands changed rather?
8 years back when I used to do makeup, so that time it was like more of like when as an artist I used to just go and follow the trends which were there in the movies, and a little bit more of glammed up jazz. But now brides also come up to me and they tell me that you know what, I want to look like no makeup kind of a look, and I want to look very natural. I don't want to look someone like I'm not that person itself. She doesn't
Hmm.
want to look somebody else. So that's what is the main game of makeup which has changed over the years, and I think that is going to be like a long term trend which will continue over the upcoming
So this
years.
no makeup look is like is a long term trend. I mean, is a new trend
It's a
basically.
new trend and it has been going on, and I feel it will go on for a long time because now the entire game has changed. They don't want to, people don't want to look different. They don't want to look they don't have colors on them, like like those pinks and oranges and I don't know what not, and glitters all over the face. Like if we see nowadays the Bollywood celebrities, how they dress up, every girl has that dream, they want to look like them. So the trend has automatically shifted.
So it's very funny. Like even I was having a discussion with while getting ready with the somebody saying that some other influencer who's doing a podcast basically told the makeup artist that come makeup karo, and then when she walked out of the room, so her mother looked at her and said, अरे तुम मुंह धो के भी आ गई, मैंने तो बोला था कि तुम ट्रायल कर लो. So point mine is that I want to understand, because you're the expert, what is the base of a no makeup look? I mean, when you say no makeup look, what does it mean? I mean, does it mean ki somebody should look at you and feel that you have washed your face and come, or should it mean that there has to be some potential in that? So I think that understanding between the young generation is quite a lost bit.
See, for a no makeup look, basically it is everyone thinks that no makeup look मतलब makeup ही नहीं करना है. It's not like that. You have to do everything. Like I always get that demand from everyone that I want a no makeup look, very very casual. But people don't understand the amount of work which goes into it is more. We have to apply everything on the face, but it should eventually look flawless. It shouldn't look like you don't have anything. I mean, it should look like skin, but a better version of your skin. So that is where your potential comes in, like where you can actually you know remove the flaws of the person, but in a better way, not like you are just putting on layers and layers and layers, and it's just gone and vanished in the thin air, and there's been a big cake on your face. It should not look like that. It should look flawless, but it should be minimal. It should be like that. So that is the entire concept of a no makeup look.
So is this much more difficult to achieve than the normal route of a base makeup plus a normal?
Yes, 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 definitely. It is very, very difficult because the blending over here matters. The way you blend the products in everything, even the eyes, even the face, even your lips, everything matters here. So, what we see on the screen, like on the big screen, so where the big, big makeup artists, they are actually, creating such kind of looks. So, that is what we are implementing here. We have to blend it in such a way. So, makeup is all about blending, basically. So, yeah.
So, Sarah, how did just to speak about your journey, how did your journey? Okay, once you decided you want to become a makeup artist, how did you, since you are into advertising initially, how did you get into this? I mean, any you've taken training from any specialized people or?
Yeah, yeah. I did take trainings. I have learned from Daniel Bauer Academy in Delhi, and he's one of the top-notch artists in the industry. And I am really, really grateful that I learned from him. And apart from him, I keep upgrading myself. I
Okay.
always do online courses, master classes, where I'm attending big, big artist sessions, and I keep upgrading my skills accordingly. So I've learned from many, many people like Mickey Contractor. I've learned from him. I've learned from Mariana. So all those were like online seminars which I've attended, and I've upgraded my skills.
So your transition was predominantly before COVID or
Uh,
just
I can say post COVID.
post COVID?
Post COVID, I've actually started learning from because I did my course also post COVID. Before that, I had done a small course, and I used to do YouTube learnings, and accordingly I used to practice, which really worked in my favor, and I could do it because it was my passion. And then after COVID, I thought that I should just upgrade a little bit more, and that's when I started taking my courses.
So, what is your take on all these YouTube influencers who, buy the products, they gauge the products, then probably they try apply on themselves, and then they make videos. And of course, during COVID, maximum these were the maximum hit views
Yeah.
videos. So, so what's your take on that? I mean, I take in the sense I want to ask you that what do you feel about it? Like there was a time, I think some time back, where every other influencer thought कि उसको तो makeup आता है, सब कुछ आता है. So what's your take? Do you think that makeup doing is like it's an art? I mean, which should be performed by people who are technically sound in it, or every other person can become an influencer, and then every other person can go and say कि तुम ये भी use कर लो, ये product खराब है, ये product अच्छा है.
See, as a professional, I feel that, see, first of all, everyone and anyone can do makeup, as well as anyone can become an influencer, but it takes a lot of other work. Like everyone thinks that, अरे यार makeup करना इतना easy है, but it is not like that. Doing on your own self and doing it for someone else is a completely different ball game altogether. Like you need to know the colors, you need to know the things which goes into creating that flawless base. Like if I have to do makeup on you, I should know that what exactly I have to use on you to get that, proper finish, which I don't think you, not being a makeup artist, would do it on me. I don't think you can achieve that. So I think people should understand and stick to what they are actually, and not just venture out and think that they are also makeup artists, because it is a very different level and genre altogether. And even for influencing, it's not like everyone can just go and, if tomorrow, if I'm not an influencer today, like if I'm not into influencing for products, and people just come to me and I give them some random suggestion, so that is not happening. I mean, you have to be in that game altogether, I feel. So everyone and anyone can't be an influencer, and they cannot be a makeup artist, though everyone can do their own makeup. I'm not saying they cannot, but yeah,
They cannot be a makeup
they
artist.
they cannot, like, just by doing my own makeup, I cannot call myself that, oh, I'm a makeup artist and I can come and do your makeup. It's not like that. You need some formal training. You need to be confident about other skin, because it's a very big task and responsibility. So yeah.
So basically, I want to ask you, there are a lot of products available in the market. There's a lot of innovation that happens. uh, there are lipsticks which come with 6 shades, then there are compacts, or there are blushes that come. So there's a lot of innovation happening in the in the makeup product industry also. So sometimes is that also a threat to a makeup artist? I mean, in the sense, I'm trying to ask, you have BB creams
Right.
which have been introduced like 4 5 years back, or maybe 10 years back probably. They started giving you a tint on the skin. So you have those kind of products, I mean, which are claiming, saying that, ये ले लो और बाकी कुछ और की जरूरत नहीं, वो
Right.
ले लो और किसी और चीज की जरूरत नहीं.
Right.
So where, which is the line where we draw and we say, of course, we understand that, just now we are also sitting in front of the camera, we understand, I mean, the products are not going to make a difference. However, still I want to understand, uh, between the products and between the professional artist, what is the line that drives that, where you need to step out and say, boss, I need an artist, makeup artist right now?
So basically, I am saying that there are many brands who claim about different products, okay? But you only tell me, like, when you use that and when you go out, and then if at all you call a makeup artist at home and you get that professional look for yourself, don't you feel the difference? Because obviously there are different products in the market which are needed for that look, and it is there, and you need it. Otherwise, you can just do your own makeup, like personal makeup with 4 or 2 3 products, and get done with it. So that is the reason where I feel that makeup artists are always needed for all these kind of whatever professional events you have, for shoots or whatever it is. You need an artist. You cannot, come what may, you cannot do without it. So yeah.
So are makeups different for different countries?
Yeah, definitely. Like even in different cities, for example, in India itself, if you actually scroll through Instagram, you'll come to know that Delhi has a very different approach towards makeup, and Bombay has a very different approach towards makeup, because obviously the industry is here, and people all of Mumbai, everywhere, the ladies want to look up to, like, yeah, मुझे तो आलिया भट्ट दिखना है, मुझे तो ये दिखना है, मुझे तो वो दिखना है. So that's how the trends change. In Delhi, they will never go with something like what the industry does here. They will always want to look like heavy.
Blingy.
Yeah, blingy, heavy, like on, like I'm right there. Like that kind of a thing. Yeah.
And here it's a different, like,
Yeah, it's a different ball game here. It's very different. Everyone wants to go subtle, light, pastels, everything like that. And even in different countries, for example, in Dubai and in America, everywhere it is different. Like somewhere it's heavy, somewhere it's light. So it depends.
what is your favorite makeup trend?
I love as we discussed, the no makeup look, and I love the dewy skin finish kind of looks. So that's like my style. So I don't like that too much, like on the face, like I'm not that kind of a person. I don't like that.
So when we talk about this dewy skin finish type, and then there is this Korean hair skin care that comes in. So then there is this rice things and all of that,
Hmm.
ceramide and all of that. So then skin, how is like, is there a connection between skincare and good makeup, or
Of
uh,
course, of course. Since you have asked me about skincare, like skincare is very, very important, and it has a deep connection with makeup because even before we start doing makeup, we always do a skin prep, which is a very, very mandatory step in the process of makeup. Like skincare, agar nahi hota hai, if you don't prep your skin well, then your makeup is going to go for a toss, no matter how light you do. If you have dry skin and if you don't moisturize it well, you are going to look up cakey, and you will look dead. You won't have that hydrated kind of face. So I would recommend that people should do proper skincare even in the night. You do a proper skincare for yourself and then sleep. And please do not sleep with makeup. Makeup on is a toxic thing for your skin. You should always remove all the gunk in the night. Do your proper skincare routine and then sleep. So that will improve your overall health of your skin. And since you asked me about Korean products,
yeah, any
yeah,
recommendations, or
yeah,
you?
many Korean products are there, but my favorite is the snail mucus. I really like it.
Snail mucus.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's it's so organic and it's authentic. It's made out of the snail. I don't know the technical term for it, but yeah. So when you apply that on your skin, like you wash your skin with it, you apply, you massage it, and then you wash your skin, and you will get a very nice and supple skin, and it helps to tighten and firm your skin
Skin.
also because it increases your
Kind of
collagen and
anti-aging.
all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's good.
And what would be the price range?
Approximately 4,000 for a
4,000.
small bottle, like around say 50 ml or something. It's
If
expensive, but it is very nice, and it actually works for a long time because you use like just like a pea size. You
oh,
don't have to
okay,
take a lot.
okay. You use any kind of Korean products?
I have called for this,
Okay,
so I'm still waiting for it to come.
acha.
Yeah, though I'm creeped out with the snail mucus thing, but yeah, let's see how it works. So
So what is your, you have any go-to regime for your people with whom you work with, or your influencers, celebs? Do you practice something, some kind of different kind of regime on them so that the makeup stays, some kind of hack that you have, or a secret?
the thing which I always do is after my proper cleansing, toning, moisturizing, I always apply the Fix It first, MAC Fix It or whatever fixing spray I have, and then I start my makeup so that it looks dewy and it lasts for a long time. And I always go with the thing that less is more because ज़्यादा नहीं लगाना है. It's okay. You can always use lesser products and then build it up later on. If you apply too much and then you cannot remove it, and then in the end what happens, you tend to look like a cake. So yeah.
Hmm. So we'll go to our next section, that is the money in the industry. So
The most interesting topic for many.
so how did your journey as an influencer begin, and how, what that growth that you achieved, what's been the journey like?
Okay, so for money, it is there is a lot of money in this, but it comes with time. It does not just come like that randomly. You have to do a lot of collaborations, a lot of hard work, a lot of assisting, a lot of learning, and that's when money will start flowing in for you. So yeah.
So how do these this section is probably for those who are just starting off. I mean, how do these collaborations work, or how do you get these collaborations, or and do they pay you?
Many a times it's paid, and many a times it's like credits. Nowadays the industry has completely changed. Everyone is like, looking out for credits, especially the influencers market, which has taken up a big boom in the industry. So they are always looking out for like people who are new and who are willing to work on collaborations. So I would suggest to the other and the new generation which is coming that do not just run behind money. कि यार हमने तो सीखा है तो I have to charge, otherwise I will not land up anywhere. Do collaborations, but make sure that collaborations are such where you are also benefiting out of it. It shouldn't be like the benefit is only for the influencer and not for you. Make sure you get everything, and it's not only about the influencer, it's about anything, even the brand, any brand you're collaborating. Make sure you get the benefit out of it, you get your portfolios done. So yeah, that's about it. And
So have you ever got any kind of negative comments or trolls? Have you
um,
faced anything like that?
yeah, long back, but I just took it positively because every step is a learning. Obviously, I'm not some master in everything, so with those kind of comments, also I tried to improve myself.
So, like, I just want to understand, you are also growing your page, you are also growing as an influencer. At what stage do these negative comments start coming? Is it because somebody looks up to you and says कि चलो सेम कंपटीशन में है तो इसको थोड़ा कट करते हैं या फिर थोड़ा नेगेटिव बोलते हैं और uh, or does it happen because there is some curiosity or probably you have done something, maybe एक statement बोला है या कुछ किया है, so what do you think actually happens?
I feel that it just randomly happens. Like there is no stage as such. Like when you reach that level, only then negativity can flow in any time, as we
Because
all
in
know.
your in this particular makeup artist influencer thing, there is a lot of competition, it's very heavy.
Yes, it's a lot of competition. Yeah.
So that's the reason why I was asking you, is the
So
negativity also equivalently heavy?
yes, it is many a times. Many a times it's like, okay, you can get away with it. Many times the comments are such where it really hits you bad, but then you have to, work up towards it. Like, ठीक है, okay. Maybe somewhere I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not doing this right. So that's when you actually, figure out कि यार कैसे करना है, how do you go about it, and then you do it.
As a makeup artist influencer, what is the kind of range of money that you can generate?
See, being a makeup artist, there's not only one way you can earn money. There are different ways. As we know that there you can be into influencing, you can do many other things also. You can even promote brands and gauge money out of it. So there is no limit as such. It depends. Like sometimes you can earn lakhs, and sometimes you can earn thousands, and sometimes you can earn nothing also. So it's like that.
So can you share any controversial trends or some cringy trends that you have promoted, or you had no other option probably?
It's not like I've promoted, but I have also done it on people. It's like I don't like that trend, the cut crease look.
Okay.
It's really horrible and it is right on my face, and I don't like it at all. So many times I've done that in my past records, and I regret it deeply that why did I do it. So yeah, that is one trend which I really don't like.
How do you handle negative feedback from client and or followers?
Negative feedback, it definitely hits me. I don't like it. I get upset, but then I work towards it. Then maybe, yeah, okay, this time I've done this, next time I'll make sure that I don't do it. So that's how.
So in your initial days or probably now also, have you had any disputes or any issues with people who come to you with collaborations or maybe even uh, money, but they don't really release your payments or probably don't acknowledge your efforts?
There have been instances like this, like where sometimes in collaborations also I've not got what I actually wanted. So that has been the case, but then we keep following up with them, and then somehow we just generate some or the other informations. And even for payments, also we do the same.
Are you do you have do you promote non-cruelty products?
Yes, of course we do. Of course, we promote that the safer makeup techniques and makeup products which are there in the market. But to be honest, those products are not long lasting. And as a professional, when I'm doing it on someone else, I make it very clear to the client that these are not cruelty free completely. Like there are a mix of products. Some are cruelty free and some are not, because they want a professional look. They want a long lasting look. So yeah. But now, thankfully, the brands are coming up with such kind of products which are cruelty free and are long lasting. So yeah. Say.
Okay. So cruelty-free products also give you the same kind of performance like the ones that are not, which have the ingredients in it.
Yeah, they do somewhat, but then the only thing is that then if it is not long lasting, it doesn't work for me and for many artists. So if the artist whoever is claiming like I have like everything which is cruelty free, that is not right, because I'm 110% sure it's not going to work out. Because if it is not long lasting, your client is definitely going to be dissatisfied from you. The
Right.
client doesn't understand that it's cruelty free and it's nice for the skin and all that. The only problem happens is यार रह क्यों नहीं रहा है makeup. That's what we
Ah.
we get those comments. So like,
So have you ever promoted, or have you ever had to try something? Of course, you spoke about the cut crease thing. Apart from that, something which you don't believe in, or probably you think that करना पड़ रहा है इसलिए मैं कर रही हूँ.
yeah, many a times this especially happens in bridals. Many a times we have to like do like what the person tells us, and even if we don't like it, just for their happiness, we have to do it. Like मुझे heavy चाहिए तो करना पड़ता है. But then somewhere down the line, I feel that this is not right. I try to convince them, but if they are just not ready to, then I leave it.
Are the trends changing now? I mean, like they show in on Instagram, certain makeup artists, they come, then they predict your look, and then they say ये नहीं चलेगा, ये नहीं है, ये माथा पट्टी नहीं चलेगा, ये नहीं चलेगा. So, do you see that trend in your brides also? Do they come and ask you for recommendations?
Yes, yes, definitely they do. In fact, I have a practice which I follow with my bridal this segment, that I always make sure I do my homework prior. I ask them to send me pictures of their outfits and their own picture also, so that and I make sure I do a video call and I at least see them, I converse with them face to face, and I call them up for trials. If they are not they don't have the time, then we do everything on video calls and I discuss the entire look, whatever they want, and then they come up to me that for jewelry what we should take, and for matha pattis and all that. So that's how I go about my thing.
So, is the Alia Bhatt look or the pastel color look still the in thing in brides?
Oh my god, it is very much in, very much in. Like I've got like I last season I did like 6 brides wearing the similar shades of lehengas, like the cream, the golds, pastels, and they want also the entire look like that, like open hair and those very light minimalistic makeup. So yeah.
How do you educate your people about safe makeup practices? I mean, is there?
I would recommend everyone. I mean, I would suggest that please maintain hygiene. Like hygiene is like the utmost important basic thing which you need to maintain. You have to wash your brushes regularly. You can't be like, yeah, तुम पे makeup किया अभी उसके ऊपर भी वही. Otherwise, keep 2-3 sets of brushes with you, and even your blenders. Blenders are supposed to be washed and before you reuse it, and only use it for 2 to 3 months, not more than that. And also mascaras and other products which are expired, please throw them. Don't keep reusing them again and again, again and again. So yeah.
So, talking about your some experiences, what is the most cringe thing, or have you ever seen in makeup artist? I mean, something that like is very cringy, or you just cannot stand it.
The thing I can't stand is I have seen people using what to say. I've seen an artist right next to me doing like that cotton pad from which she cleansed somebody's face. She used that same thing on
They
the other
used it on
person's
somebody's
face.
face.
And that was like the most unhygienic thing I've seen. I mean, how can you do that? So yeah,
So actually
it disgusts
makeup
me.
is like the most, either it's the most unhygienic practice or the most hygienic
Yeah.
practice.
So
So
you have to sanitize your products. Like I personally also sanitize my products after every use. I sanitize my brushes, my blenders, everything. I do not use the same thing again and again, again and again.
So, talking about your experiences, can you share something about your experiences with doing makeup for celebs?
Makeup for celebs was is a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing that, and some of them are very very sweet and humble, and obviously some of them they do show their tantrums. So yeah, it depends how you tackle with them, the way you converse with them, the way you talk to them, the way you do extra things, little extra things for them. That's what pleases them. So yeah.
And with influencers, is it anything different? I mean, are influencers the new celebs or are they the A plus?
Oh God, they're more than celebs, I guess. Many of them are definitely, they feel and they think that they are the new celebrity clan in the whole world. So, yeah, then you have to tackle accordingly. As we tackle celebs, the same way we do for influencers, and we give them a little bit of extra pampering. So, that's how they.
So does that run in your mind sometimes कि यार तुम कौन हो पता नहीं.
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं, आई नेवर टेक दैट माइंडसेट। आई ऑलवेज थिंक दैट अच्छा ठीक है, ये भी मतलब शी इज़ डूइंग हर बेस्ट एंड आई हैव टू डू माय बेस्ट, व्हाटएवर इट इज़। आई हैव टू गिव माय 100% एंड हूएवर इट इज़ एंड व्हाटएवर इट इज़, शी इज़ पेइंग मी, शी इज़ नॉट पेइंग मी और व्हाटएवर इट इज़, आई हैव टू गिव माय 100%।
So do you have do these influencers have some kind of particular trend? नहीं dewy look ही चाहिए या फिर something like
No,
that?
no, everybody has their own set of demands. And to be honest, whatever is there on the camera is a different thing, and whatever is off camera, like when we are doing the makeup, it's a different thing. So I think it's quite misjudged by the people also. Like because I've worked with influencers, I know how it is. When you are actually doing their makeup, they want a little bit of extra oomph and extra heavy coverage, and when they are actually showing that thing on the camera, it's a different ball game. They come up to say that we have a dewy skin, we have a light skin. So yeah.
So how did you come up with this idea of having a master class, and how long has it been that you have been with doing this your master class thing?
The masterclass thing also, one of the influencers only told me to conduct it. So that's how I landed up into this segment of masterclass where I teach like personal grooming and personal makeup and all that. So uh, this thing just happened by chance. And
Okay, so
I
how long has it been that you have been doing this master class?
recently only I hosted my second masterclass. So it's been like 2.5 months since I've started teaching makeup, and I also do like personal makeup sessions with people. So I'm just building my hands on teaching now. So I hope
So
it
yeah, are
goes a
you
long way.
enjoying that part
Oh, I
or?
love it. It's so much fun teaching people how to do makeup because there are many people who look up to you saying that yeah, मुझे तो ये भी नहीं आता है. I don't know how to apply a kajal. I don't know how to apply a liner. So that's what comes into place, like how to teach them that little things.
Mm. So what are your future plans? I mean, or okay, future plans, or rather, I would say, do you have somebody who is still like you're still manifesting कि एक दिन मुझे इनका makeup तो definitely करना है,
Yes,
even after
yes.
doing so much work.
Of course. I am a big fan of Alia Bhatt, and
Okay.
I'm looking up to doing her makeup once, at least once. I hope I get that. So yeah.
Okay, so like Karan Johar's channel, we can also make this like a manifestation chair, sofa, and hopefully you will do Alia Bhatt's makeup
I
very
wish,
soon.
yes, soon.
And so it was nice talking to you. I mean, so many insights on makeup, so many different things. You are also starting your new
Oh yeah,
venture
but
as a.
yeah, one more thing I wanted to tell is like there are many people who like the new generation. Everyone wants to enter makeup. They feel that they are glamorous, so much of fun meeting celebs and all, but it is actually not that easy. It is a back-breaking job. We get back pains. We have to hold like heavy bags. We have a lot of luggage. It's not like it's a easy thing. And even if you're assisting someone, there is a lot of hard work in that. It's not like, yeah, it's a piece of cake, paisa mil raha hai, lots of glamour, lots of money. Initially, it's not like that. Later on, everything comes in place. So, whoever wants to join the industry of makeup, please think over it
So
and then
initially,
join.
it's a very back-breaking kind of a like
Yeah,
it's a very
even,
very
yeah,
tedious kind of a
yeah.
job.
Like in every field, it is a struggle. It's not like, I'm a makeup artist, I have so much glamour, I have so much this, and it's not like that. So, that misconception among the younger generation, they need to know that it
Right.
is not like that. It's a lot of hard work and a lot of struggle. So,
Right.
yeah.
So thanks for the pretty talk that we had. It's been a lot of fun and a lot of insights, in fact, about the snail thing which I never knew. I mean, I don't think I will ever try it, but still, I mean, it's good to know, it's good to have knowledge, and if you really feel it makes a lot of difference on your skin, then probably you can tell me sometime
For
later.
sure.
We can figure it out. So thanks a lot for coming on my show, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
So, guys, I hope you had fun watching this pretty talk. And if you had fun watching this particular episode, then please like, share, and subscribe. And please press the bell button for more such episodes. Bye.